Welcome to the Soon Podcast.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Soon Podcast. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Amanda Lynn, and we are two sisters living two very different lives. Alyssa's the health and wellness, and I am the fashion, style, all the things.
I would say I'm also very fashion, very style.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm giving fashion or style today, but I am giving theme, Bad Witch. I just want everyone to know really fast that I have two sweaters at my house. One says Bad Witch, one says Good Witch. One is for Alyssa. She does not live here anymore. So I just have two sweaters and I just rotate them.
Oh, I was going to be the Good Witch. Wow.
I don't know. I felt like this was like a little bit more like spunky since we're doing scary stories. You know, I felt like I am like the Bad Witch.
And I'll be the perfect angel, all in white. A virgin.
Oh, okay. So it's the woman trying to get pregnant. Anyways, so today we're doing a shortened version of our beloved report, okay? And we are sacrificing, I think it's EPR.
I don't know. We're just going to roll with the punches, but we really are here today because by the time you are listening to this, it will be the week of All Hallows Eve.
Yes. So we are doing our sisterly advice column a little different this time around. We asked for you guys to submit some scary stories. So we got some really good scary stories. We got some spooky submissions. I'm going to tell one of my own personal spooky stories, and it is spooky, I think. And then I think we might finish off the episode with a couple of Reddit stories if we need a little bit more, but we are so excited and we hope that you guys love this episode as much as we do.
Yes. Speaking of spooky stories, Amanda has been helping my parents who own an event company, and Halloween is their biggest week of the whole year. And she was creating a very scary scene at someone's house.
I did do a little Halloween setup. My dad took a little tumble earlier, not last week, but the week before, and he tweaked his back a smidge, and he has been so busy. He's also down one of his like main guys, and he just needed some help. So he's down a person, he's a little hurt, and he just needed some help. You know, he was going to turn away an event, and I was like, I can do this, you know, like, let me take one for the team. I've been a themer my whole life. I think that I can handle it. And I just want to say, my God, did I handle it? The event is chef's kiss and obsessed. And I had a literal blast. Like, I was up there webbing, I was strobing, I was doing all the things. And Omar came to help me. And he was like, he was doing all of like the logistics stuff. He was putting in all the batteries. He was like lining up my little guys where I needed to go. It was great. I loved it. So
wow, that's awesome. So yeah, growing up, we definitely had a different experience with spooky things, decor. We actually, like, as children, were hired by our parents to play little gargoyles out front of a haunted mansion that they did.
at the Wrigley Mansion. So if you're from Arizona, you know the Wrigley Mansion. They throw a banger of a Halloween party. They're actually doing one with my parents again this year. But my sister and I were like 11, and we were like the little scary gargoyles that sit on the front steps, and we were like wearing these terrifying masks, and we were like jumping out at people. Like, grown adults were like,
no one would know that we were like real, and so we would just jump out and shake people up. So I don't know, I've always loved like going to haunted houses and getting a little spooked because I just have a different relationship with it. I know it's all in fun, and I know these are real people behind all of these masks, and so I think it's fun to be a little creeped out.
Yeah, I do love a good scare. I feel like I'm a little different than Alyssa when it comes to the real people behind these masks because, like, I think knowing that they're real people behind the masks, like, makes it so much worse because I'm like, what is stopping them from actually going insane and literally chopping your head off because no one's going to know who they are because they're in a mask?
They're hired, they're paid.
I'm just saying, like, what's
They
stopping
had
some
to fill out a W-9.
I'm just saying, I'm surprised we don't hear about it more often
God
because
forbid people work for a living.
I just think it's crazy. I feel like it's almost a missed opportunity for crazy people because it is I feel like that's all I can think about. I'm like, you're probably a psychopath waiting for your moment. And that's all I can think of. But that's just me. On other news, I have a quick scary story. Actually, I'll say this for the report. What? Okay, well, I feel like we should probably kick this episode off with the report or the pieces of the report, and we'll save our scary, spooky stories for the end.
Okay. Well, I know that last month you were reading Broken Country.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
And everyone in my book club also loved it. So if you guys are needing a book to read, freaking read it. It's so good.
Well, if you let me finish, I also just finished it. So that was my book of the month as well.
Huh?
And I rated it a 9. It wasn't quite a 10 for me,
Mm,
but I thought it was very well done. Very good.
it's a good book.
It was kind of a crazy turn of events here and there for sure.
It's a good book, so I highly recommend it. Do you have any more to say, or can I tell everyone what I'm reading?
Oh, oh. I forgot. You are in big, big trouble for
Why?
recommending The Teacher.
I like The Teacher. I think it's a good book.
Paul and I have been trying to get through this damn audiobook for months, but we can only handle little snippets because it is horrendous. We only have like an hour and a half left. And so obviously at this point, we're like, this book was not worth it. This is the shittiest writing. Like, what the hell, Frida? I don't
Wait, that's
understand.
a Frida McFadden book because I'm about to recommend another Frida
She
McFadden book.
has good ones. This was shit. Let me make sure it was hers, but I cannot believe you recommended this book to me. What did you like about this book?
I I thought it was a good book. Like I
No.
listened to it on Audible
You
and
did?
I was listening to it. I could not stop listening to it. We were in Tahoe and I was
I
like turning
know.
it on in the shower. I would bring my phone in with me so I could listen to it because we were so busy doing other things.
Is
And
it the
I
same lady reader that has a Midwestern accent that is so upsetting? She's like, Addie.
Oh, I did hate the way that she talked, but I liked it. So if you've ever read The Teacher, write in and let us know whose side you're on, the good witch or the bad witch, and let us know
I
your
will
thoughts.
just say, so far, Frida McFadden, The Teacher and The Boyfriend were terrible books.
She wrote The Housemaid.
I know. I love some of her books, but some of these that she's coming out with are just disgustingly bad.
She's just writing thriller after thriller and she can't please everyone. I will say I just listened to another one of her books on Audible. So that's funny because that was my book for this month. I listened to The Intruder
Hmm,
and I thought that that was a good one. I would give it a 6 out of 10.
that sounds terrible.
Okay, fine. Maybe you know what? I feel like I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. She's practically a 7. I think that the only thing that kind of annoyed me was just like it was a lot of the same thing. She would go
Mhm.
back and forth, and that drives me crazy. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
you already talked about this. Move on. Let's move on.
Okay. So The Teacher was 3.9 stars out of 5. This one is 4. So it's zero point 0.1 stars better than The Teacher. So
Well, I already downloaded it in our Audible account, so you might as well give it a listen. I liked it a lot. I listened to it this whole week at work and I really enjoyed it. So it got the spooks going.
Well, I have such a good one to recommend for this time of year, even though it's basically Halloween.
So do it then.
Okay, my favorite spooky, creepy, fun book is called The September House by Carissa Orlando.
Ooh, I've never read that.
Yes, it's about a woman determined to stay in her dream home even after it becomes haunted. It is so
Oh,
good. Can you read it this week? Like, start reading it?
yeah, I'll start reading it this week because that actually sounds like a good Halloween situation.
It's so cute. Maybe I should read it too. Sorry, it's not cute. Some parts of it stray towards cute.
Okay, fine. She's cute and spooky. I like it. Okay. So, what are you obsessing over?
What am I obsessing over right now is definitely 2 shows. Wednesday, I finished it, and
I just finished it too.
I love that show. This season was not as good as the first one, but it still gives me that fix of, like, creepy, fun,
It's
crazy vibe.
creepy, but almost children friendly in a way that gives you like hocus pocus vibes. Like it's scary, but it's not terrifying, but it's like you want to watch it and
Yes.
it still feels like it still's fun. Like you don't go to bed scared, but it's
Mhm.
it's good. I like that show a lot for Halloween.
This season was a little more dark.
It was dark for sure.
But I loved it.
I was watching it on the plane. Wait, I'm cutting you off because I was watching it on the plane home from Alabama, and that was, like, the only thing that I downloaded.
Mhm.
So, we were taking off during a crazy lightning thunderstorm. I was terrified. I don't get scared of flying. I don't have any fear of flying. I don't love turbulence, but the pilot came out, he was like, "It's looking rough, but you know what? Just buckle up. We're gonna be fine." And I like anytime we're flying through a storm, like clouds, I just shut my window because I'm like, I don't like to see that. It freaks me out. The guy next to me, he left the window open. And so I was crying. I was having a panic attack. And the only thing I downloaded was Wednesday. So I was like, let me just turn this on and I'll like have something to watch. It was literally so creepy. I was like, I'm depressed. I'm crying. I'm freaking out. I like, whatever.
Land
So
to
that was
land.
my story.
Yeah, I don't understand how pilots can be like, "Buckle up, like, we're gonna be fine, it's just turbulence." You're going through a lightning storm.
I know. I'm like,
Is
this
that
is kind
not?
of a 911, but anyways, keep going.
Okay, and then I finished Wednesday, and so I am obsessed with this show on Apple TV with Seth Rogen and Rose. I don't know how to say her last name, Byrne, but they were in Neighbors together, and she's also in
Mm.
Bridesmaid. She is fucking hilarious. This new show called Platonic, and it's about like these grown adults who are opposite sex and they are good friends. And they are just, I don't know, it's hilarious. I highly recommend it.
I'll have to watch it. I don't know how Seth Rogen has the time because he's also in the studio, which I'm pretty sure he's directing, I want to say. And that is a really good show. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And then he also has his little plant glass company. If
Plant
you
Glass.
What is it called? I don't know what it's called. We should look it up. But he obviously loves, his marijuana and he makes like little marijuana like dishes and lighters out of glass. I want to say it's glass and they're actually really cool. But he also
House
does that
plant.
house plant.
Wow. Those are beautiful.
I know they're sick, but I'm like, how do you have the time? You're just in show after show, banger after banger, and you have your little plant business. Slay Seth Rogen.
I know. Good for him. I don't know, but the show is funny.
That's what you're recommending?
I don't know. I have one more. So, I mean, that'll be
Well,
for later, but it's
you were
separate.
you were on obsessing, so
Well, I'm obsessing over those right now. What about you?
I'm obsessing over something a little sad. Um,
What? What the?
So when we were on said trip, which I just got back from a wedding in Alabama, it was stunning, amazing, beautiful. Oh, I love seeing my best friends get married. It's magical. But we had a crazy freaking trip in, trip out. It was like we literally slept for 0 hours, but it was well worth it. So on the way home, I'm getting onto the plane and I'm carrying my little cute little suitcase that I love so much. I'm rolling her right on the plane. As I said, I was very, very anxious. So I was gripping that very hard. I'm like sitting on the plane. I look down and I'm like, oh, my finger kind of hurts. My wedding band smushed like in half on my hand
What?
because I was gripping the suitcase so tight. So I had to take it off. I had to put it somewhere safe. And now I can't wear my wedding ring because it smushed in half.
Didn't this happen before?
This did happen before. So I don't know if anyone's like a jewelry person out there. I love my wedding ring so much, but it is a thin gold band. And I took it in because this happened one time. I was gripping the steering wheel too tight, I guess, and it smushed it. So
Okay,
they
Hulk Hogan.
I'm sorry, I'm just so strong. But they told me at the jeweler, it's not where I got my ring, but it's just a local jeweler here. They said that the gold on the band is like a really good gold, but it's also a really
Huh.
soft gold.
Mhm.
And so apparently I'm just so strong that I keep fucking bending it in half. So I'm like at a crossroads because this has already happened once. And I'm like, I feel like at this point, like I should just figure out a different band, or I don't know if they can add gold. I don't know how it works, but it's very peeving and not free.
It's
And
not a wedding band, it's your actual wedding ring, and it's the
but it's
band
the band
attached.
on my wedding ring.
I don't think they can just swap that out. I think you'd have to get a new setting.
See? So I don't know. I don't know. Now, see, that's what I'm obsessing over because I'm like, what am I going to do? You
I think
know,
you should just
upgrade.
go with silicone.
We're just actually going to get a tattoo and call it a day. No, so that's what I'm obsessing over. Again, I'm genuinely asking the masses if anyone has any recommendations. Please, God, let me know because I don't know what to do and it's so sad. So I'm just here with my band. Everyone, here she is. She's
Wow.
so cute.
Wow, wow,
And
wow.
that's what I'm obsessing over.
Well, what did the jeweler say?
I haven't taken it yet because they've had such a crazy week.
Mhm.
Well, I'm probably going to go back to the other jeweler, they did it for, like it was so cheap last time because they just had to bend it back into place, but they were like, "Next time, you're gonna need to do something else." It's like, it's probably true, you know? I don't know how many times you can bend a band in half and then it still be secure.
Yeah, geez. Well, that's a bummer. I have the same gold, and it's never happened to me.
I feel like your band is a little thicker than mine, though, or maybe you're just more delicate with things.
I don't
I'm
know. I
sensitive.
wear it to the gym, so that's probably not.
I
I
mean,
wear like a padded ring silicone thing under it when I lift, but it's still like the pressure's there. I
so
don't know. But
okay, well,
anyways, so my recommending is also mixed with eating. So it is a recipe that I highly recommend if you want to be that girl when you
hmm,
show up to a little party in the fall and you don't just want to bring, a snickerdoodle, a peanut butter, a pumpkin. Like let's be a little more avant-garde. So I highly recommend implementing miso. So I made miso chocolate chip cookies, and somehow it was like the perfect fall, mushy, almost like molassesy cookie. I want to say that miso is like peanut butter, but totally elevated. So it has like this nutty flavor. Technically, it comes from a sesame seed. So I don't know. It was just so easy. And I think you can get miso, white miso, by the way, from Asian markets. And I also just got it from Trader Joe's. They sell it in like a little pouch, and it was way cheaper than like a regular grocery store.
Well, hot dog.
I
That's
know.
fantastic. You're going to have to do a post about this because I wouldn't know what to do with a miso cookie.
Yeah, it was very good and I highly recommend it. And it's just elevated. I just felt so fancy bringing it. I'm like, this is my miso chocolate chip.
Homemade miso cookie. I really vibe with that. That's cute. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
What
Okay.
about you?
What am I recommending? My goodness. Besides just resting your weary old bones, which is all I need to do this week,
That's
I
terrible.
no, what I am recommending because, well, okay, let me tell you. Do you want to know? Let me tell you. So,
I don't know why I'm here. Just tell me.
so I'm recommending as the holidays are coming, Halloween is upon us, Christmas is almost upon us, and Thanksgiving will be here soon. So, for this month, we had a very crazy month. We were traveling a lot. I had a lot going on at work with like all of my holidayness. Like, we have been busy little bees. Okay. So for Halloween, I was like, we're going to go skimpy. Like, I don't want to put it up. I don't want to tear it down. I don't want to take everything out of storage. Like, I literally don't have the time. And then I kept coming home from work and I was like, it's so sad. Like, it's so sad. And I can't believe I did this. Like, I'm lazy. And I was trying to protect my peace by, like, like, don't put up all the stuff. You don't have to take it all down. Then I came home from work the last week, right before our trip, and I said, you know what? Sleep is for the dead. We are going to go all out. And you know what I did? I spent 2 hours. I took everything out of their boxes. I was up on the roof, hanging my webs. I was throwing my ghouls over the roof. I wanted them to hang. I wanted them to scare the shit out of the kids. And I have never been happier. So, like, I'm truly recommending, like, don't skimp on your decor. Let your freaky flag, what is it? Freaky flag fly. Like,
Freak
get out,
flag.
freak flag fly. Get out there, go pedal to the metal, set up your house, make it look cool as shit, and make all of your neighbors like kind of jealous because
Okay, hold
you
on.
won't you won't regret it. What?
This episode comes out 3 days before Halloween.
I'm saying I said as we approach Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Well,
even though it's probably a little too late for you guys for Halloween, I think as we head into Thanksgiving and Christmas, like, I'm just saying, from my own personal experience that happened like 1 week ago, I think that we should go balls to the walls and you won't regret it. Okay.
yeah, I do think it makes you happier.
It does. And it makes you feel like more finished. It makes you feel cooler. And, I wasn't proud of people coming to my house this
Mm.
Halloween with the way for. And now I'm like, come to my house. It looks dope.
You're definitely a psycho, though. Like, I have 2 things outside. I have 1 spider web and I have 1 hanging ghost from the tree, and he really makes an impact.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think like take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Your going balls to the walls may not be what my going balls to the walls is. Like Alyssa is so happy with her little ghost and her little swing guy, and that's all she needs. But I needed 45 spider webs hanging from my ceiling and life size mummies.
um,
Also
I also think I think it's balls to the wall, not plural
balls,
walls.
balls to all of the walls.
Balls on all the
Balls,
walls.
balls, balls
Got it.
to the walls. I think that is it for the report. I feel like we need to finish off this episode with our spooky, scary stories, and let's freaking go.
I'm scared. But also for next month, I don't know if we'll do a report either. We'll see. But I feel like sooner than later, we're going to do a Black Friday deep dive, like what you should try to get
Oh,
for Black Friday. I'm creating my
all
list.
right. Okay, that's fun. So everyone put that on your calendars. But let's dive in to our spooky, scary stories. Hang on, I'm going to try and do something. So I have a story that happened in my home, the home that, yes, I just purchased, even though this terrifying story happened there. So picture this. One evening, I was in high school with one of my best friends at the time. It was just the two of us. My parents were gone. You were gone. I don't know where everyone was, but we're home alone. And I think I've mentioned this before, but our house is kind of like a fishbowl. We have a lot of windows. And when I was young and 16 and not afraid of anything, we would just leave all the lights on. But you know what that is like. So it's like you can see everything from outside. You can see in, but you can't really see out. Okay. Catching my drift.
Mhm.
So it's nighttime. We're sitting on our living room couch. So our living room is kind of like right by these front windows. So if you're standing outside and you're really trying to look in, like you can look in, I guess. And so, and this is all at the time. Things have changed. And do I need to say that so people don't stalk me? Just kidding. Okay. So we're sitting on the living room couch and we have all of the windows open. The lights are on. So if you're outside, you can see in, but we can't really see out. Okay. So her and I are exactly, we are working on, I think we were working on a school project. Like we weren't even watching the TV. We were like working on something. And her boyfriend at the time, I think he was going on a trip the next day. So he was like, can I come by and say, like, come say bye to you? So we were like, perfect, great. So he comes over. He is on a motorcycle. He drove a motorcycle at the time. I know. I know, kind of young for that. It's crazy. That is the scary story. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So he is coming over and he texts her because he wasn't really sure which house was mine. So he like was, I think he was like walking his bike trying to like look to see which house was ours because it's kind of hard to find in the
Mhm.
dark. So he's texting her and he's like, "Oh, I think I see her house. One of your friends is outside." And we're like, "What do you mean? Like, no, we don't have a friend outside." And he's like, "Yeah, there's this girl. She's looking through your windows." And we were like, "What? No, no, because she would be able to see us. Like, what are you talking about?" And so he's texting her, and we're like, "No, no, 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 no. We don't have any friends. Like, who is she?" Apparently, she was like our age at the time. So she kind of looked like she would be one of her friends. So he gets on his motorcycle. He's trying to follow her, and she like hops one of our neighbor's fences. Like, she like gets the fuck out of there. We still to this day, no one knows who that girl was, and she was watching us through my front windows like this. Like he was like, "She's looking in your windows. I think she's one of your friends. You should let her in." And we're like, "What are you talking? Isn't that crazy?"
Yeah, that is really weird. And I mean, that's before
Terrifying.
Ring cameras and everything. I don't know how we survived without those.
I don't know either because now we would have just looked it up. But back then it's like, we don't know. We don't know. Was she a friend who was like being funny? Was she a terrifying, psychopath who just escaped the insane asylum and who was staring into our windows? Probably. That's probably who she was.
Oof, I hate
There's
that.
no-
I do not like that at all.
I just like, I still remember it so long ago. Like her being like, he just texted and was like, "Oh, I see your house. One of your friends is trying to get inside." And we were like, "What?"
It's
What
coming from
friend?
in the house.
Name them. Like, what are you doing? So that was terrifying, but that's my scary story. And I hope
Yeah,
you liked it.
that is spooky.
Thank
But
you.
what's spookier is that you currently own a haunted house.
I know. I know. I know. Everyone, our house is haunted. I don't even want to bring these spirits back
You're
to light
frozen.
because I feel like they've kind of. Wait, hang on.
Shite.
Hello?
You're frozen. Oh, hello.
Alyssa, our Wi-Fi just went out.
Stop. Stop. Oh my
Alyssa,
God.
our Wi-Fi just went out as we're talking about how we have a haunted house. And we were telling the story and the Wi-Fi just went trying to connect, trying to connect. I just called Alyssa because I was like, our Wi-Fi's out. Our Wi-Fi
Oh,
never goes out. Oh my God, Alyssa, you're bringing them back. What do you have to say? I do not,
in the
I
name
don't
of
want,
Jesus Christ, leave.
I don't want this. I provoke the scariness.
Should we not? That's
No,
weird.
no, we can tell the story. I think it's fine. That was super spooky. So if you weren't spooked before, we're fucking spooked now.
You're
But
brave. Amanda still wants to talk about it. I'm like, maybe we should not.
which one are you gonna talk about?
There's a couple, but mainly we think that it is a good haunt.
We do think it's a good haunt. We
Yes.
do. And if you can hear me, which I know that they can,
Hear it.
we love you and we respect you. Okay.
But
So
please leave the Wi-Fi on.
keep it mutual, keep it cute. Okay. So, anyways, Alyssa, why
Whoa.
don't you, Alyssa, you can tell the story.
Is
So,
Omar home?
yeah, he's home.
Okay. Okay. So there was a couple instances. We were in the basement, our bedrooms were growing up, which
Yeah.
was pretty difficult. It was very creepy. The floors down there weren't finished. They were concrete. And I think my parents were just like, oh, perfect for kids. But in reality, it's terrifying.
Terrifying.
And yeah, so it was just kind of creepy vibes down there. I specifically remember one day we were sleeping together in your bed as kids, and you had chimes in your room, and they just were chiming in the middle of the night. And so I got out of your bed and I ran to my parents and I left you behind.
Yeah. Shocker.
I don't think you had any idea what was happening because you're always asleep. But so that was like my earliest instance of like really weird, unexplainable things.
Yeah.
And then I remember in 7th grade, I was having a sleepover with my best friend, and we were sleeping on the ground in my bedroom because my bed was like a twin bed. So we were sleeping on the ground and we were just talking in the middle of the night. And then all of a sudden, it felt like someone dropped clothing onto us from like midair.
I didn't know this story.
Yes. And I was like, Megan, did you just like grab clothes and throw them? And she was like, I literally haven't moved. And so we just like laid there in shock. And then we turned on the light and there was nothing there.
That is terrifying. And
Just weird vibes like that. And then the cherry on top was, and this is why we think it's a good intentioned
we do.
spirit.
We love them and we respect them. Okay.
Is because when we were kids, we were downstairs watching a scary movie. One of our first scary movies. I think we were in 7th or 8th grade.
We were watching It.
And in the beginning of it, we were really, really freaked out. And we were like,
we were all scared.
and we were like huddled. It was just us girls. And then audibly, one of us said, this is so scary. I wish it would just turn off. And
TV
it
down.
turned off.
Off.
We did not have a remote for this TV. It was one that you had to manually press.
This was like an older, this is back in the days where you had to like go in, turn it on. Like the TV turned off, but also the DVD player also off. Like everything was off, but the power wasn't out.
Yes.
It was, we all literally screaming. Everyone's bloody murder. Like,
yeah, we did not watch the rest of the movie. We ran upstairs. I mean, I'm still like shocked. We have no explanation, and it was just very weird.
It was very weird.
Yeah, but never a bad instance in that house. Just eerie, a little eerie.
Little spooky. So for a little background, my parents are, I want to say that they're the second owners of this house. It was built in the 80s.
I thought you were gonna say the 90s. I think it's built in the 60s. I know. I can check.
No, no, our neighbor, Jeff, he helped build the neighborhood.
Maybe the neighborhood, but
Okay, I guess we'll find out. Let's find out some tea on my house real quick. Hang on.
if you look up our address, my first car is in the Google photo.
I know, it's crazy. They need to come back.
It was sold to our parents in 1996. Built in 1979.
Okay, I was kind of right, like 80s almost. So I think that my parents were the second owners, I want to say. And it didn't sound like anything crazy ever happened in this house. So I'm not sure exactly whom these spirits are, but there's
No.
someone. And yeah, they used to make themselves known actually quite a bit. We would hear weird noises, we would just weird instances. One time I had, is it called a lucid dream or what is it called
Mm,
when you're,
half awake, yeah.
yeah, it was, I can't even talk about it because it was the scariest thing. I don't even know if I told you what happened, but I ran, should I talk about it? I don't know if I can talk about it. It was so scary.
Really?
So, for a little background, I guess that this is my second scary story. I'll keep it quick. This is probably the scariest thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and it's never happened again. Knock on everything in existence. But I remember in high school, Souls and I, we moved upstairs. We were still in the rooms like next to each other. And I remember waking up, but I apparently was still dreaming, but I was awake and in my room, and I had like a canopy bed. And there was a woman standing at the foot of my bed. She was wearing all black. I'm not kidding. She's wearing all black, but like a veil. And I thought she was you. And so I was like, Alyssa. And she doesn't move. She doesn't turn around. And then I realized that it wasn't you, but it was like it was a person right there. And like, I remember just being so scared. And then I woke up. It was crazy, but it was literally a person in my room. Like I felt the presence. It was crazy. I think I went into your bed and like literally died. But I think
What?
about it often, but I can't think about it too much because it does scare me to death. But I will say on a different note, on a different note, this is another thing that I think kind of ties our little house ghost into being like a good, pleasant ghost is our grandma that we loved so much. She passed away here in the house. She was home with us. It was beautiful. And I think that ever since that happened, I want to say that we haven't had any other weird instances. So that to me makes me feel like it was like a ghost looking over the property and just like keeping an eye on things. And now she doesn't need to be here anymore because my grandma's there. So that's just me.
Oh.
Okay, but that's enough about us. My God.
Oh
We've
my
had some
gosh.
great stuff happen.
We really, really have. I don't know, guys. I don't know if we even need to read any other stories.
Do what I need to move is the real question.
Yeah. Okay, here's a scary story. Neutrogena makeup remover wipes are getting recalled due to bacteria contamination right after Amanda said not to use them because
I
she was
just told
breaking out.
everyone, I told everyone on our last report that I was using them throughout all of like my weddings and traveling because they were just so easy. And my face had never broken out as bad as it had when I was using them. Alyssa chalked it up to my poor eating habits, but now we all know
My poor
Neutrogena face wipes. So throw them away.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. So
let's
here is our first one. When I was younger, my friends and I went pool hopping. Been there, done that. Guess who tattled on me?
me.
My sister.
I was such a narc.
Living our best lives. It was all fun and laughter until we jumped into one backyard and the owner came out with a gun. We scattered like wet rats, lost a flip-flop, and I discovered I could run a 4-minute mile.
Oh my gosh.
This sounds very Arizona.
That honestly, we don't know if you're from Arizona because these are anonymous, but it's absolutely giving an Arizona situation. And I feel like that is the kind of story our parents would tell us about all growing up. Like, don't ding dong doorbell dish, someone's gonna come out and knock your head off. But it's like actually I feel like that happens a lot nowadays.
Well, I do think that would be really scary if you just heard something in your pool.
That's true. And honestly, like now as a homeowner with a home with a pool, like that is a fucking liability. Like please don't jump in my pool.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't need that. It's too much. So, I'm glad that you guys are okay. I wish that you gave us like a synopsis of like how it ended if you all just like scattered and they realized that you're just a couple like wet rats or whatever you called yourself.
They didn't wait to find out.
Yeah, literally. But we're glad that you guys are safe and okay. And that's crazy. Okay, I'm going to read the next one.
Okay.
One time I stopped at Starbucks before work, just minding my business when this random guy starts chatting me up. Ew. He asked about my tattoo and was super weird in a very too interested kind of way. Gross. I brushed it off, got my latte, and went on with my day. Slay. That night, I realized I was being followed on my drive home. Same car, every turn. So my heart was pounding, but she pulled a fast one and drove straight to the police station. Smart. Okay, smart. He peeled off so fast, I never saw him again, but now I double check my rearview mirrors all the time. That is crazy.
Yeah. I don't love that.
Literally insane. I feel like one of my big fears is like being followed. So I do always think that I'm being followed.
Yeah.
And, if there's a car behind me simply turning into our neighborhood, I'll do a couple of loops just to make sure. But I think you can never be too safe.
Good
No,
Lord.
one of my big fears on top of that is that we have gates that stop that like they're automatic, so they open, you pull your car in and they close. One of my like genuine fears is that a car will pull behind me and I'll shut the gates with both of us in and like I won't be able to get out because they'll be blocking me in the gate. I mean, I feel like that's kind of valid, but good on you for driving to the police station, you smart little whippersnapper, because I feel like not enough people know that if you're having an emergency or something bad is happening, like drive to the police station, like honk your horn, and someone will come over running.
You guys, I truly never would know if someone was following me.
I know you are so lackadaisical with your entire existence. It's genuinely terrifying.
You just gotta be, you could be so careful and you could still get offed one day.
Nice.
Okay, and then Paul sent me one that he saw or heard, and I haven't read it yet. Let me see.
It better be good.
It's freaking long. Oh my God.
Maybe this will be our last one.
Okay, I think this is a Reddit thing he sent or something. I don't know.
Okay. I say read it.
So this happened my sophomore year of college. My roommate at the time, let's call them Jay, got invited to this Halloween house party off campus. It was one of those big fraternity houses that always smelled like cheap beer. I wasn't even planning to go, but she begged me because apparently the guy she was into was hosting it. Anyway, we show up around 10:30, music blasting, the whole house covered in fake cobwebs and red lights. Normal college chaos. But
Yeah.
then people started whispering about the attic. Apparently, whoever lived there before left all of their stuff up there, furniture, boxes, like a time capsule from the 70s. And the rumor was that the last tenant died in that room. Nobody could agree on how. Typical college rumor mill stuff. So, of course, by midnight, everyone's daring each other to go up there.
No,
You guys,
that is
I
scary.
have an attic and I have never peeked up there.
You have an attic? Honestly, that makes me think differently about your house.
Yeah, it's scary. I didn't want to go, but Jay and this guy dragged me along. The stairs creaking the entire way, and the air gets weirdly cold. Not like spooky story cold, like actual freezing. When we got to the top, there were these old Halloween decorations, real vintage brittle paper pumpkins, plastic masks, all hanging from the rafters, and the middle of the floor, a mirror, a full length one, totally clean, like someone had just wiped it.
No.
The guy joked that if we said trick or treat 3 times, the dead person would show up. And Jay thought it was hilarious. So they both did it, and I refused. The second Jay said it, the third time, one of those paper pumpkins fell off the wall. Fell hard enough that the nail shot out and hit the mirror. And the reflection, I swear to God, it didn't break. But for half a second, Jay's face looked like someone else's, like her eyes went black. We
No.
bolted downstairs and tried to laugh it off, but Jay ended up leaving early. She said her
Mm.
phone kept glitching the rest of the night, and every photo she took had this shadow behind her.
Oh, no.
The house got torn down the next semester, and get this, when they started digging, someone found a second mirror buried under the floorboards in what used to be the attic.
No. That is terrifying. And I want everyone to know, because I do like my little spooky stuff, that they say mirrors are a portal to other dimensions. You're not supposed to have a mirror at the foot of your bed or facing your bed at all, because it gives the other dimensions an opportunity to snap you while you're sleeping.
Well, I did have a mirror as my closet door,
Yeah.
and nothing happened.
I'm just letting people know, the more you know. If you feel like you're already living in a spooky situation, maybe don't put a mirror at the foot of your bed.
It's true.
Right.
Oh my God, that is creepy. And Paul's working tonight, so I'm just home alone.
We're just gonna be home with the spookies.
Okay, so last year, Paul and I were on a road trip, and it was around this time of year. So I wanted to like listen to something spooky, and I found like a podcast where they go over scary shows or scary movies, and they kind of talk about what happened so that you don't have to
Me
watch them.
too.
I know. I think it might have been called That Was Pretty Scary, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But anyways, so they like talked through the series on Netflix, The Haunting of Hill House,
Yeah.
and it was just sounded so good that I had to watch it, and it is very good. It's like the perfect amount of spook, I would say. And
Okay.
apparently they have another one called The Haunting of Bly Manor. And now I just have to convince Paul to watch it with me this week.
That is that is scary. And to end on a recommendation note, if anyone needs a scary podcast, I love listening to Morbid. They're my favorite. They tell really good scary stories, and they're just good. They're funny as heck
But
too.
those are true stories. I cannot handle those.
Yeah, they do. They tell like true stories of scary things that have happened, or talk about serial killers or
Yeah,
hauntings.
people getting chopped up.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I listen to it like daily.
I tried and I started having nightmares. I only need fake things. So like The Haunting of Hill House, which is like fake. So
Yeah, it's interesting because I can listen to scary stories. I can listen to them, but I cannot watch a show about them or a movie even about fake stuff, because then I'll get freaked out. I just can't have the visual, because I feel like the visual in my head, I'm like, it's not that bad.
oh my God. You're
But then when I see it on TV, I'm like, ah.
yes.
So
Do you have a favorite scary movie from growing up? I'll tell you mine. So I love the movie The Conjuring, just the first one. And we also liked it was about this babysitter that was, like, watching this kid, and someone was in the house.
Yeah, and tried to kill them. It is actually probably one of my top, like, scary movies. Like, that is probably one of the scariest movies ever because I feel like it's so realistic. The way
Yeah.
that it all panned out was
She is pretty
genuinely
dumb.
she's really dumb, but it's just, like, a genuinely terrifying movie to watch, especially as a girl who at that time we were babysitters. So
Yeah. I'm trying to find it.
my, like, top scary movie from growing up was The Descent. That was
Oh my
my
god, that is so terrifying, Amanda.
yeah, my best friend and I growing up would watch horror, like, horrific, scary movies. We would just watch them alone like little freaks, and we would be screaming, crying. Like, I think about that movie a lot, and it is so scary.
It's so scary. I would never watch it today.
I would never watch it today either, but that leads me to my last whole comment about movies. So, one of my best friends, who we've also been friends like for years and years, she's not the same best friend I've been talking about since elementary school. Whenever we would have sleepovers, she also loved horror movies, but like I kind of grew out of it. I can't watch them anymore. But we would always fall asleep on her couch and she turned on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which
No.
I never had watched that before. She fell asleep, and I'm there, like, freaking out, terrified, and I'm like, "Oh my god, why are you doing this to me?" And, yeah, so that's
No,
it.
I don't wanna hear any true stories.
I know.
No.
Oof. Ooh, creepy.
Okay, so in college, it was, like, a month or 2 into the semester, and we were alerted that we were gonna be getting a new roommate. We were like, "Oh, what the heck? Okay." And recently around campus, there was a attempted abduction, and apparently the girl that was moving in with us was the girl that was attempted to be abducted, and she had lived at a home nearby, and so she was done walking away from campus, and it did happen, like, outside of campus, but, like, right on the corner. And I guess, like, this guy had been kind of, like, following her, and then he got into his car, and then he was like, "Hey, can you come here? Like, I have to ask you something, blah, blah, blah." She was like, "If you come anywhere near me, I'm calling the police." And he, like, kept nagging her, kept nagging her. So she called the police, and the police, like, pulled him over, and he had rope and duct tape in his car. I know.
Oh my honestly, good on her for being a strong enough woman to not go near him. I feel like a lot
Yeah,
of women would be like, "Oh, what is like, like just leave me alone. Like, let me just figure out what it is." Like, that is such a good story for like trusting your gut because who
I
knows
know.
what could have happened to that poor girl.
Yeah. Fuck that.
That is crazy. People are crazy. I hate everyone.
But
But
thank you guys for
yes,
submitting, and I
yes.
hope you all have a happy, happy Halloween.
Have a happy and safe Halloween and don't get too scared. Or
And don't
do.
eat too much candy without protein and fat and fiber alongside it.
Enjoy your damn Halloween. Have a king size bar or 10. And we love you and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk soon.